Welcome to Title Alone Podcast, where normally we go to see movies without knowing what they're about. We go to the theaters, and all we know is the title. But this time, welcome to the coronavirus quarantine version of Title Alone Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Brad.
And this is Ryan.
And now we're at home by ourselves. Well, Mike's by himself. Brad and Ryan are together.
I love that this intro you just automatically default to using your name in the third person, because you say Mike and then you start going, Mike thinks this, and we're like, hey Mike, it's okay, you can talk normal now.
And this week we are seeing a Netflix movie called Spenser Confidential, which none of us know what it's about.
I haven't even seen it on Netflix, and I've been on Netflix quite a bit. So somebody must have dug real deep.
So Jan has it queued up for me so that I just go out and press play. I don't have to see anything because we don't know how long we'll be under lockdown. So, but I would like to say that the movie we were going to go see is called I Am Patrick, and I was so dedicated to the fact that it was a SpongeBob movie. I have now watched 6 seasons of SpongeBob because I had never seen a SpongeBob episode. Oh, yes, 100%. I had never seen a SpongeBob episode, and I believe so wholeheartedly that it's a SpongeBob movie that I went and watched SpongeBob, and I hate SpongeBob. I know I am in the negative on this one. It is so annoying.
I also watched it as a child.
Yes, I think that's where it is.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it as a child, but I still enjoy it just because it's just the stupidity of it. Honestly,
I'm happy that I can be done.
All right. Well, so I was gonna go with it was a Patrick Warburton movie. That was gonna be my thing.
That would be a funny one. Yeah. So we're actually gonna see. I about to say we're gonna go see, but we're not. I mean, I guess
I have to go all the way to my couch.
I was going to say, I'm going to go from where I'm sitting now to a couch in my living room and sit there. So I am going to go. But Spenser Confidential, since we haven't had a lot of time to think about what it possibly could be, to me, it sounds like like they have the Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Mm-hmm. Like that. Sounds like that to me.
Oh yeah, like
Spy Kids or
yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have a narrator? Is there like?
Yeah, the kid's the narrator. The kid's always the narrator.
Oh, so it's an actual child or a kid.
Yeah, it's meant for 12-year-old boys. It was what it's for. You know what I mean? Like almost exactly in my head. It's almost exactly like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Mm-hmm. And I don't know any child actors, but I could say since it is a Netflix movie, so it is a little bit of a cheat. I'm gonna say it's got one of the kids from what the fuck is that with the upside down? Stranger Things. They're about the right age for this.
True.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, now that you brought up an actor that's in it, I definitely know who I'm gonna say is an actor in mine.
Is it Patrick Warburton?
No, this is easy. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's somebody that's in every single Netflix teen drama that's been made.
Clearly, you watch a lot more Netflix teen dramas than I do.
Abby does.
Abby
does, and I'm in the room, and then he's in every one. So, anyway, what were you saying, Ryan?
Oh no, I was saying I'm surprised you went with kid movie because mine was way off from that.
What's yours?
So I have this idea of so this guy Spenser, he's kind of a oh man, I can't think of the word now. Not an informant, but oh my god, drawing a blank. Hold on.
I don't know.
This is good content.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just going, All right, well, Ryan's figuring out what his is. Brad, what do you think it is?
All right.
Let Ryan Google it.
So, mine is the show, it's about an unlikely nerd spy. I want to say it's called Chuck, right? Chuck's that one? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one where he worked at like a Best Buy or something.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, but you're actually a really cool tech guy and super hot. We want you to be an FBI or CIA agent or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, whatever, sure." So that's kind of mine in a way. So I think it's going to be similar to that. I think it's going to be, you kind of swayed me a little bit with kid movie. I'm not really sure, but kind of like Frankie Muniz. What was his thing? Agent Cody Banks. Could be.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
There you
it's
go.
like in that vein. Yeah.
So I'm going with spy movie. I'm not gonna go kids. I'm not gonna step on your dreams. But you know what? I'm gonna go with it's like a young adult spy movie. The guy's named Spenser, and the person that's in it. And I'm gonna butcher his name because I don't really know exactly how it's said or pronounced or what the letters are. But it's definitely Noah Centenario or Centenio or something like that. This dude is in. Dude, if you saw his face, you'd be like, "Oh, I've seen him in 90 posters." Well, I guess maybe not because we've been trying to avoid posters. But
I don't. Yeah.
But no, like this dude, he's in every single Netflix teen drama that's been made since the year 2018. I swear to God, this dude is in everything, and it's because he's probably like cheap talent, and he's like a new cutie to the Netflix.
That's
scene.
not nice to say. He's not cheap.
Hey,
don't worry.
He's new.
Don't worry. He'll never hear it.
And I didn't even say his name right, so he doesn't even have the right keywords to find him. So anyway, I think it's. I'm gonna say it's a shitty spy movie with that Noah guy in it. That's my guess.
All right, Ryan.
Did
you figure out your word?
I did. So, anyways, so this guy is basically now a consultant.
Ooh,
is the word.
Good word.
But he's the kind of consultant that's almost like a like a priest when you're going to do your confessions and all that stuff. In that you can literally tell him anything, and it will never leave between you and him. So you could get advice on how to successfully pull off a murder, or as simple as cheat on your wife, or even get contacts to help you pull a job and all this stuff. And he's basically just like I said, a consultant. But of course, that's just the dude's job. And but my plot is that he comes across some information that's personal to him, and he has this internal struggle to do his job and not act on it and all this. But of course, he would have to eventually act on it, or there would be no movie. So it'd be kind of a okay, I've got to do something, and that's kind of the plot of him doing that and getting found out and whatever. Dude, so
that sounds like an excellent movie. Like, this is
So-
very good.
oh, and it's starring Keanu Reeves too. So
I was
great.
I don't think. The only reason I'm going to say it's not that is the Keanu Reeves. You threw it off with it because he's filming like 9 movies right now, and I don't think the Netflix one is one of them.
All right.
He was just in a Netflix movie. Yeah. The one with oh man.
Yeah,
I forgot her name.
Yeah, it's that rom-com one.
Yeah, it was really good though. I liked it, and his part was funny.
Yeah,
but
he played a weird version of himself.
Yeah, I know. He played like a super pretentious douchebag version of himself.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah.
But all right. So what do we think is the furthest it could be?
Go ahead.
I didn't think this far ahead on this one.
Did.
Again,
I got mine.
Okay, then I'm out. I don't have one. The furthest it could be is
mine's closely
documentary about
related
cheese.
to my it is, but I think it could not be a documentary on the data breach of AshleyMadison.com. And how it happened and all that stuff, and those could have been just some hacker named Spenser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have one now.
Go for
it.
All
right. So, do you remember that show on MTV called The Hills? I don't know why I know this information. Okay. So there's a show on MTV called The Hills, right? I don't know why I know. I've probably seen a couple episodes for some unknown reason. And one of the characters' name was Spenser.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a continuation of The Hills, only from Spenser's point of view? It's definitely not that movie. Because I don't think anybody watches The Hills anymore, let alone remembers a guy named Spenser from that. So
No, I
think
didn't
that's
watch any
mine.
of that
That's
crap.
as far as it could possibly be.
Pretty good.
Brad.
Well, I'm gonna stick with the documentarian train here, and I'm gonna say you guys are familiar with the mall store Spenser's Gifts.
Oh, God.
So this film is actually a documentary about rejected / banned Spenser's Gifts items that were too risky for the store to either shelf or got removed from shelves due to protest. And there's
it's like
like weird sex toys, lots of weird shit that they're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have this on the shelf.
It's like the opposite of the toys that made us.
Yeah.
There you go. And so it's a Spenser's Gifts Rejects documentary.
I like that because I used to work at a Spenser Gifts.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I used to stand on the counter, the very top of the counter, and we had one of those lightsabers, the real expensive ones, that someone returned, and they were like, throw it away. And we were like, fuck no, we ain't throwing it away. So we bought a feather tickler out of the sex toy section. And when people used to walk by, we used to hold it up real high and then tickle their head as they were walking by because they were like, why are these people on the desk? And then you used to like just fuck with people because you didn't care about that job if you worked there. Because it was just the most meaningless, dumb job I've ever had where they're like, go fold t-shirts. I'm like, okay.
It's like, wait, you wanted me to care about the job where I sell whoopee cushions every day?
Yeah. And fun fact, I met, because this is in Pittsburgh, worked there, I met Tom Savini, who did the makeup for Night of the Living Dead. What is the movie him and Robert Rodriguez were in it where he had the cock gun? Remember that?
Nope.
From Dusk Till Dawn. He has a gun on his belt, and it looks like a belt buckle, right? But it's a gun. So it looks like your standard Western belt buckle. But then he pushed a button and it flipped out, and it was an actual gun, and it shot somebody. And so it was like this cock. They called it like a cock gun or something like that. But I met him there, and then I met him again at a Ren fair, and he doesn't remember me at all. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, why would he remember the guy that sold him a whoopee cushion?
Yeah, I didn't. He was looking at posters, and I was like, "Can I help you?" I didn't recognize him at first, and he was like, "No, I'm okay." I was like, "Oh, cool. Hey, nice to meet you." And then I walked away. Like, I didn't want to bother him. I felt like, he's at the mall shopping, and he's clearly in Spencer's. He didn't come into Spencer's to see me, so I'm pretty sure he wants to be left alone. So, yeah. So I was like, all right. So it's pretty cool. So,
anyway,
all
so
right.
what's your rating, Mike?
Oh, my rating? It's way low. It's like 38%. It's got to be garbage.
All right. What's your rating, Ryan?
Mine's gonna be an all right Keanu Reeves movie, so it's gonna be like 65, 70.
Going with the 24%. It's not gonna be good.
We're so confident. All of us are so confident. Ryan at least has some confidence because for some reason he thinks Keanu Reeves is in it, which he's definitely not. So, all right, let's go watch the movie. I guess somehow we sign off. Normally you hear the car door open.
Yeah, click clack. But I'm getting out now.
Click clack.
All right, guys, let's go
theater.
in. All
Yeah.
right. Just a heads up, the next part is going to be completely filled with spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and don't want to be spoiled, stop here. Okay, so we're back in the fake car. We're ready.
Vroom, vroom.
Go, vroom, vroom. Here we go.
Beep,
Quarantine
beep,
car. Yeah, the quarantine car. Ready? So we're going to do the 60-second synopsis. I'm going to do it again this week because I talk the fastest. So,
All right.
All right, tell me when to go.
The synopsis begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so it's Mark Wahlberg. He's a cop. He's a good cop. He goes to a guy's house. He's the chief. He beats him up because he finds out he's beaten his wife, but he went there for another reason. So he goes to jail. He gets stabbed by Post Malone. And then he gets out of jail, and he's running away from his girlfriend because she's crazy. And then he hangs out with his old dude friend. and he has a roommate who's an MMA fighter. And then it turns out that the police chief that he beat up to get into jail was murdered the same night he gets out.
30
and
seconds.
So he has to investigate the murder. And so he goes on an investigation spree and finds out that his old partner is a really bad guy. They're trying to take over a casino and make a casino from the old dog track. And so they work with the drug gangs, and he's a really bad dude. And he's back with his girlfriend. Everybody's safe. And his dog Pearl is gorgeous.
8 seconds left.
I don't know what else to say. I beat the 60-second timer.
That was very good.
Yeah.
All right.
So
stop. We did it.
Turns out this is not a kids movie.
No.
There was no way it's gonna be.
Definitely not a Netflix movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could have seen this in theaters.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know who I expected less, Mark Wahlberg or Post Malone.
I saw Post Malone show up, and at first I saw him from his walk as he was pushing a cart. Because I was like, is that? I saw his grungy hair and his little weird stride that he does. And I was like, is that fucking Post Malone? And then he sits down and I'm like, who the fuck put him in a movie?
Dude, I actually
and then
saw...
he wasn't...
Mark Wahlberg did.
Well, so I saw the poster for this on Netflix. And I saw Post Malone. I was like, oh, Post Malone's doing a prison movie? Weird. But I never connected the title. Like the title, I'm sure I saw it, but I did not know going into this that Post Malone was into it. And then I was like, oh, this is the Post Malone prison movie.
Yeah, but like, I love how, because I saw it too, but I never saw the title. I was, as I loaded up Netflix one day, I saw Post Malone. I thought at first it was like a weird documentary thing about Post Malone. And
do you think he went to prison?
Because they just did a Taylor Swift one, so I thought maybe they're doing a Posty one. They were not, clearly. And if it's weird to me that Post Malone was the headliner guy when Mark Wahlberg is clearly the main character and Post Malone has 10 lines.
That's true. They did put him in the poster. He's in and Mark Wahlberg wasn't even in the poster.
That's what I'm saying. He was in 2 minutes of this movie, has no... You could have put literally any actor in his role. Just happens to be Post Malone.
But they didn't put an actor in his role.
No, they didn't. And it's also weird. I don't know if I was an aspiring artist, that if my role would be head of the Aryan nation in prison. That's just not really my... Hey, I'm trying to break into film. What do you think the first role I should take on? A Nazi. You should definitely be a Nazi. Like, that's not...
Well, I mean, there's not that many roles you can get with face tattoos.
That's true. That's true. I thought he was going to be a good guy. Like, when he first sat down and started talking to Marky Mark, I was like, bro, Posty's going to be a good guy. He's going to be that kind of like... I thought it was going to be a whole prison movie. And he's going to be like, yo, man, let's like, kind of like Longest Yard. Because Mark Wahlberg kind of does this funny stuff now. He's never very like serious. So I'm like, cool. And then he's just an asshole. And he stabbed Mark Wahlberg. And Mark Wahlberg wasn't even affected.
I know, didn't care about the stabbing. He's a hardcore Boston cat. And he didn't care about no stabbings.
Yeah. I mean, I found some flaws in the movie, but we'll start. Brad, what did you like about the movie?
I actually just enjoyed its popcorn nature, right? You know, it's just very I don't want to break into the ratings yet, but I thought it was good, like just fine, right? Like I didn't find any issue with it other than it being a cheesy, exactly what you expected the entire time, but still enjoyable movie experience. So like toothpick. So there was a toothpick at the scene, and then 10 minutes later, you see a toothpick in his old partner's mouth, and you go, okay, he's the bad guy. Immediately, I saw the toothpick, and I went, he's the bad guy. And I was like, I'm excited to see that happen. You know, like I didn't care that it was already given away. It was just Mark Wahlberg being Mark Wahlberg in a dumb movie. And it was fun. I liked it. You know, just simple. Nothing wrong with it, really. You know.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, my audio just went out, I think. No, I definitely enjoyed it too. Like I actually liked it quite a bit. One thing I will say is like I think why I liked it was that there was uh, not much gunfighting. Actually, there's a lot of just people getting the shit beat out of them and stabbed.
I don't think there was almost any. There was a little
there
bit.
There was, but it wasn't like
so really, minor.
I don't think anybody actually got shot.
Yeah.
Except for one
black MMA fighter, blasted a dude with a shotgun.
Yeah, from
like 50 feet away. Yeah, it had to have been a slug.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was kind of cool, and it was very there wasn't really much downtime, which is nice, even though he's like kind of doing this investigation or whatever. I will say I absolutely hated the FBI agents. They were, especially the dude. It was super fucking weird. Yeah. But I liked it a lot more than I think I should have.
It's okay to like a movie, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just that's honestly, I don't know that I don't think that if I read the synopsis of that movie that I would have watched it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah. That's the great thing about this is that like me and Abby were looking through movies like on Netflix, looking for something to watch, and couldn't settle on anything. And then when you guys were like, we're watching Spenser Confidential, I was like, okay, whatever, I'll watch it. And then I watched it and enjoyed it, but I never would have clicked on this.
No,
which is like
especially
the best
with Post Malone's face there. I would never, if they would have put Mark Wahlberg, I probably would have clicked it. I'm gonna be real, because like if I like going into it, like I saw Mark Wahlberg and I got excited because I was like, he's doing a lot of that stuff with like the other guys, where he's kind of like serious but not serious, and he found his like where he really fits well, where he has kind of that weird humor, that kind of dark humor that he does. And I really like that. Like at times I was like, I don't know what this movie's trying to be, because like usually he's got someone with him that's really funny that they kind of play off of, and he's usually kind of the straight guy and somebody else is a funny guy, and he was all of it this time. So it kind of like there were like there's a scene where he goes to jump over a fence and he just trips. Like that's just funny. And then he gets in a fight with a dog. And then honestly, every time that he just gets his ass kicked repeatedly, and the guy brings it up. He's like, every time you get beat up, you get a little bit more information. He's like, but I don't really think that's a great course of action. Like, it's kind of like the movie understands what it is. And then they even made fun of him in The Departed, because there was a line where he said, he's like, when the Irish mob used to be something before they made all those shitty movies about the Irish mob. And I was like, you were in a movie about the Irish mob, like. So I thought it was it poked fun at itself enough to where I enjoyed it quite a bit. And so, Brad, what did you not like?
I don't know. I didn't think about that. I mean, honestly, I guess I kind of already covered what I didn't like, which was just that it wasn't masterful filmmaking or anything. You know, it wasn't like a good movie, but it was fine. It was fun. You know, like to me, there's two different kinds of movies. There's like good filmmaking, and then there's fun movies. There's popcorn movies.
Yeah.
You know, Transformers, comedy movies, this movie, somewhere in the middle, you know, where it would also, Marky Mark is also in Transformers.
I'm an inventor.
Yeah, I'm an inventor. How's your mother? Say your mother for me. So yeah, I mean, it's just like a fucking Marky Mark special. I got no problem with it. You know, it's just like, you know, it's one of those things where like, okay, you want to talk about some, you know, movie where you go, oh, there's a weird plot hole about this. Like, I'm sure this movie had plot holes, but I was so far from analyzing a plot hole in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, so it's like, it's just fine. It's one of those movies that sort of prefaces itself as it's not important that you pay attention to every little plot detail, so you're not really looking for them. Like, whenever Optimus Prime says that, you know, he broke his shoulder joint and then he does a sweet right hook, I'm not calling that a plot hole. You know, like, it's just, it doesn't matter, you know, it's the same thing.
You know, there's probably someone out there that freaks out about that.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, Optimus Prime's shoulder was broken, but he just can't handle it.
Yeah. So I'm not one to care that Optimus Prime broke the plot. So in the same vein, I do not care that Marky Mark can get beat to hell and then walk normal the next day. I just don't care.
Gets stabbed.
Yeah, he gets stabbed and he's like, "Oh, just a little parting gift." And I was like, "Dude, you got stabbed in the kidney. You got your kidney stabbed. You need to go to the doctor." And then he just
leaves jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't care. So it's just one of those. Yeah.
And Ryan, you said you didn't like the FBI agents.
No, mainly because it's like that and the reporter. They're just like, we're not doing anything. For a second, when he was actually at FBI headquarters or wherever he was, showing them the tape, and they're like, just leave it alone or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, are you telling me the FBI is in on this shit too?
Yeah.
But apparently not. That was just bad writing.
They're just terrible. I feel like it was showing that the FBI is just terrible at what they do. Yeah. Like if you can't catch the America's Most Wanted criminal, they're like, whatever, man, fuck it. I don't really want to be involved with this. This is just too small. Well, so go ahead.
I was gonna say they kind of explained that though, because he was just like, well, the FBI is so wrapped up in getting the bigger fish that they don't even stop to like, they don't even stop to catch somebody like that's still important. So like, yeah, maybe Driscoll, the bad cop partner who is in charge of everybody at this casino, they could have just got him easy. But the FBI is always looking for some bigger fish to fry, and so they're going, well, who's the drug supplier? And you could always go down that chain. You could always get some bigger fish, but I think that's what the complaint was about the FBI. Is they're like, oh, we're still investigating. And it's like, well, at some point, you have to...
forever.
Yeah, at some point, you're going to have to do something before somebody dies. Like, and then the big drug supplier dies, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess we didn't do anything. So it's like, I think they kind of, they made a point of that. Granted, it's not masterful filmmaking. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but at least, I feel like it was explained to a certain extent.
Yeah. My least favorite part of this movie, and I'm with Brad. I don't have a lot of complaints about plot hole stuff in these types of movies, except for the one glaring one. Who leaves a complete crime scene for 3 days just hanging out in the school bus yard? It was literally like they didn't clean up the blood. They didn't clean up the shards of glass.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Did they take evidence, or did they walk up, put a barrier around it, and be like, "Peace, bro, we're out"? Because like in the movie, there's 3 bad cops, right? There's 3. What about the rest of the whole entire police force that would have been there taking pictures? Forensics would have showed up. The captain is dead. And they're like, nah, ignore it. Ignore it, everyone. All the detectives who are clean cops, ignore it. Because we said so. And you're like, the captain got killed. The captain got beheaded. And they're like, nah, we figured it out. This one guy killed him. We promise.
Yeah, ignore this toothpick. Ignore it.
Ignore all of the evidence that's all over the place.
For a minute, I thought they were like gonna try to frame him, because he was like, wait for him to come back to the crime scene and leave, some kind of deal. I was like, no, this movie's not that deep.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like from that aside, like I can be like, all right, whatever. It's just here for fun. And that's really my only complaint is like you get to that scene and you're like, what is the Boston police just a bunch of idiots? Like it will, and then so it's not that big of a complaint because I would still, if somebody was like, hey, should I watch this? I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, watch this movie.
Yeah,
so
it's also on
sometimes
Netflix.
when we do,
it's also on Netflix. Entry is so small.
So sometimes on B-roll, me and Ryan will do you watch it in theaters? Do you watch it on Netflix? Or do you not watch it at all? So obviously it's already on Netflix. So you can watch it on Netflix. But I would even go as far as to, if you want a lighthearted movie in these quarantine times, and once you're out, if this was in theaters, I would have said see it in theaters. I enjoyed it that much. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, so I would say Quarantini is my new alcoholic beverage I've created during
Quarantini. You say that, but I was actually in my bar at my house trying to figure out, they make a penicillin cocktail, and I'm trying to figure out how to make one called the Quarantini.
Sorry,
I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything to come up with that's as stupid as the name that I thought of. So, what were you saying, Ryan?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I probably wouldn't see this in theater, but I would give it time on Netflix for sure. So
yeah, I feel like it was like, we'll call it Netflix Plus, right? So may or may
Ooh,
not
yeah.
see it in theaters, right? So it's like I would probably see this in theaters, but it's one of those Netflix movies where you're like, damn, that was a good Netflix movie. Because there's some pretty bad Netflix movies.
Yeah.
So like, because Netflix will pretty much just pay for anything for content. Like, look at Fuller House, for example.
Throw shit at the wall.
You know, like Fuller House is one of those where they're like, oh yeah, you know, like people love Full House. Like, we don't really care if it's good. People are gonna watch this whenever they get home from work and they have a glass of wine and they watch Fuller House because they remember Full House from their when they were a kid or whatever. So like, this was like a pretty damn good Netflix movie. I mean, it had Mark Wahlberg. Like Mark Wahlberg is not going to sign up for a shitty movie, right? You know.
The Happening had Mark Wahlberg.
That was also
in
in like 2008. I feel like Mark Wahlberg in 2008.
I fucking like that movie, dude.
How could you like that movie?
Bro,
How?
It was good. That's how.
All right, point aside. Mike, what is your Rotten Tomatoes score now of
I don't know, because
Spenser?
should we go Ryan first so that we could just end his part of the stream and kick him off the show forever for liking The Happening?
I haven't seen The Happening. I only know the ending.
We should have a separate B-roll episodes where we watch the shittiest fucking movies. Ryan won't agree with me on this one. I know The Happening should be on there, right? Even though it's trash.
Listen, that movie gets a lot of points for having Zoe, however you say her last name. In it, so.
How many minuses does it get for just dumb shit happening?
Not that dumb.
Okay, so my point, I gotta continue. I give it my rating. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. No, I don't do halves. I hate doing halves. I'm gonna give it a 9. No, 8. I'm going 8. 8 out of 10.
Okay. Ryan.
So who's next?
I'm gonna stick kind of with my original thing or thereabouts or whatever. So like a 6.5.
Oh my god, that's a fail.
No, it's not.
Is it? No, it's not.
I think if you got a 65 in class, what happened?
Yeah, but that's not how these ratings
failed.
Yeah, that's not it. That ain't it, Chief. Because like, I disagree with the whole like, if you didn't get a 90, it's shit. You know, like that's like kind of the attitude of a lot of like movie like critics. Because so like for me, as I was watching this, my rating just kept going up. So I started at like a 45, then I went to like a 55, and then I went up to like a 60. And I ended it thinking, this is a good 60 on RT, right? Like Rotten Tomatoes is not going to give this any more than a 60. So my vote is a 60. Are we ready to look it up?
No, I didn't do my Rotten Tomatoes score.
Well, that
was my personal score.
Okay. I was just doing my
Rotten
score.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. What's
my
your
Rotten
RT?
Tomatoes score is it gonna be? It's gonna be like a 70. I'm going 76.
Okay. That was your RT,
I'm
right?
probably
Yeah.
Okay. Spenser. Which, by the way, can we
I'm
talk
going
about how
76.
Spenser is not CER? And it really threw me off at the beginning because I was like, oh my god, what if this is not even close to the same movie as we thought it was going to be?
Right. What if we watched different movies?
Ooh. All right. Y'all ready?
I bet I'm wrong.
It's a 41 on RT.
No!
Oh, wow.
Mark, you did better than that.
Let's read the top. Let's read the first review I see here. First review headline says, you don't need to remember the 80s Private Eye series Spenser for Hire to enjoy this witless, charmless Mark Wahlberg Netflix movie. All you need is a general lack of discernment. Damn, Brad Newsom at Sydney Morning Herald.
I feel like he's taking shots at me. I liked it.
Well, here's the first positive. Mark Wahlberg and Winston Duke are a fun, exciting duo in this film directed by Peter Berg. There you go. I agree.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was fun.
It was just fun. That's all that
exciting.
matters.
I wouldn't, again, like I said, it's not The Godfather, and it's definitely not The Happening.
Yeah, it wasn't the trees at all in this one.
It wasn't the trees. It was a cop. It's a buddy cop movie without being cops. Who doesn't like that? Everyone likes that.
I love that.
I feel like that one reviewer just
Brad Newsom at the
the guy that reviewed it bad.
Sydney Morning Herald.
Oh, he's from Australia. That's why it's hard to watch films upside down. It just makes the whole experience really difficult when your blood is rushing to your head. It's just
that's right.
It's difficult.
He rated the gospel music of Johnny Cash 2007 a positive, so who knows what this guy's all about. I'm
You're
looking at
cutting
his
out,
profile
so he
now.
rated it something, but I have no idea what he rated it.
My mic isn't. My mic on Discord is. So. Anyway.
Oh, I see.
All right. Anyway. All right. So, well, we gave our reviews. I think we covered it.
Yeah. I think it was good. So, sorry everyone who is actually listening. This is not our normal format. Yeah, all two of you. This is not our normal format, obviously, but it will be for the foreseeable future until we can figure out when it is safe to go into large groups of people and have people cough directly on my face, which is AKA work right now. So, so it's probably like another one like this. Maybe not. Who knows? We don't know what's happening. No one does. But if you did like it, like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's where we do the posters for the movies. I don't know how we're going to do a poster for this one. I think one of us is going to have to sit in for Post Malone and get face tattoos. Actual face tattoos.
Oh, shit. Not it.
I'm in. I'll take the Post Malone's face tattoos. So if you want to see the posters that we make, they're pretty funny. Brad and Ryan do a great job with them. So go like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social stuff. And that's it. If we could end with the car door chunk, but we don't have a car door.
So I'll add a sound effect.
Thanks. Make it obnoxiously loud.
Okay. So, all right. Are you ready? Here's our car door. Wow, that was loud. That was very loud.
I didn't hear anything. Oh my god. Oh, I see. You're adding it in post.
What the? Come on, Mike. Get with the picture. It's not that hard.
All right, I'm done. I'm out.
Okay, bye.